cambium set up for cheese. First we got to do is take all this bark off. And you can see this is the cambium layer here. Right here we dug a little too deep. This is a pretty challenging log. As you can see, it's not an easy one to draw shade. Most of them aren't as hard to draw shade. Most of them are more like this. Let's see. Well, after we get done this, I'll pull it another one that we can show. And so, this is the most challenging part of the job. It's hard on the back. But, yeah, just keep shaving it. And as you can see, this one's like chipping off. Normally they're just nice and smooth off. But when we're out logging, you aren't going to take any of these big ones anymore because I have to handle them. And I can tell you, moving this wood around, it's not fun. So just keep shaving. Try to get this mill started up. I don't really know. We're looking for markets to sell either lumber to or whatever. Yesterday I was on the phone with some planters from the state and they're saying, hey, you should look at putting a pellet mill in. Yeah, I mean, I don't have $10 million, but if you like and subscribe, maybe I will. We'll see. Right now, we're just gonna stick with cambium. These big ones are pretty hard to manipulate around. I mean, normally, like this is not very normal. Usually they're a lot smaller than this. In fact, usually when I get a big one like this, I either roll them off the end or take them back out to the pile just because they're so hard to manipulate. The only reason I stuck with this one is because there's not a lot of knots in it, so the cambium will be a lot better. And right now it's high orders. I got a big order from Jasper Hill Farm. Shout out to Jasper Hill, making some good cheese up there. Next time you buy some, Cowboy Trent that's making the bark on the Harbison. We do it for 3 different cheeses, but Harbison is our bread and butter. Whew. See, as you get, this is like closer to the bottom, so there's probably another 2 feet here where it fell and we bucked it off. But as you get closer to the bottom, the bark really peels a lot harder. I have no idea why. You know, somebody could give you a chemistry lesson or biology or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but I have no idea why it's thicker at the bottom. Honestly, I don't really care that much. But hey, if you know why, maybe drop a comment, hit a like, and enlighten us. This is all Norway spruce. This is a Norway. Fun fact, so where I got all these logs from is a plantation where they actually went in the 30s and planted all the trees. And this is in a pretty stressed plantation. This is a good looking tree, but there's a lot of other little ones that, you know, either are dead or dying or, you know, all twisted from a lot of bug damage. And I was talking to the forester yesterday about it. He thought it was from just not being thinned out like it should. So the reason that they went with Norway doesn't grow on its own. It's from Europe, but it doesn't, like these trees, they don't seed out and have baby Norways up by them. They had to be planted by hand. And he was saying that they did it in the 30s because they grow, you know, 15 to 20% faster, and they like the Vermont conditions because it does get really cold up here. But yeah, so it's a good Norway tree. As you can see, I took a lot of cambium on that one, but this is This is a tough one to carve. She is chipping off. Normally they aren't this hard. Like this is, I do a special workout routine, and I'm like, oh man, if I do a bunch of these, I'll have awesome back muscles. Nope. Still gotta hit the gym. All about the gym life, man. Next week we're gonna head out and do some logging, which should be fun. We got the hills are gonna join me, and we have the skid steer on. I don't know if we're gonna be successful logging. There's a lot of snow out there, but hey, you never know. Might be able to get it done. But yeah. So for anybody that's wondering, like, what kind of cheeses do Jasper Hill make with this, like, and it's a French soft cheese. And I actually lived in France for 2 years, and I never had any over there. You know, Jasper Hill makes great cheese, but I'm just more of a Cabot cheddar kind of guy. But it's like the heritage of like these soft cheeses where you can, you know, put them in the oven and just dip a chip in it and have it be like basically like dressing is a French style of cheese apparently. Jasper Hill is making a huge dent in it. They do it. Marin Cheese Co. does it out in Petaluma, California. It's a really hard thing to commercialize and make every wheel perfect. The culture's perfect. I mean, one of Jasper Hill's selling points is, and again, I'm no cheese whiz. I've eaten a couple wheels of it. It's good stuff, but it's not my taste. Is you go to the store and you grab it from, you know, up in Greensboro, or you go to California and you grab it from your Trader Joe's there, or maybe, I don't know if they'd be in Trader Joe's or not, whatever supermarket you go to, it is the same. And, you know, every little bit is important. So we really try to make our bark, you know, consistent. I mean, you're working with a live tree, so there's only so much consistency you can get. But in terms of taste, you know, they do a really good job. They do a good job with their health, their people, their business direction. So it's good stuff. You see right there, well, I dropped it, but I just took off a massive piece. But it's impressive, you know, they come up with this whole system to move the cambium, take it off, bring it up to them, and then they put it on the cheese. It's quite an interesting deal. It's a good story, and it's important for the local economy. This is the Northeast Kingdom. There's not a lot of going on up here. It's a decent place, but just kind of boring. So it's pretty impressive what they've done. But you can see right here, I dug a little too deep. It's really hard to do on these tougher logs because it's so much force. Let me see if I can find a little log. Something like this log, as you can see, just comes right off. So these are a lot better. Plus, mathematically, there's the amount of cambium per board foot is a lot less in a big log than a small log. So like these small logs are really what we go for. And the forester loves it because we're taking the stuff nobody else wants, and landowners getting a little bit of money. To be honest with you, I think they're getting too much, but I was kind of new at all this when I negotiated the first contract, so that'll be changing. I mean, essentially we're doing a service for the landowner. I mean, I'm not saying we need to get paid for it, but we should be basically doing it for free. It's a lot of work to go out and log with a skid steer. and you have to use a skid steer, because if you used, you know, equivalent of the chain and grapple or whatever, you put the chain on it, you'd lose all this cambium. So it wouldn't be worth it. So we're going into the skid steer and log, and we'll have more videos of that next week. But yeah, it's you know, getting good quality wood is a challenge. We do have some loggers that are going to bring us a little bit. For what we use, just to kind of put in perspective, like I'll use probably 25,000 feet in a year. I think if you were going to build a 4-bedroom house, it might be enough wood to do it. I have no idea what the ratios are on that, but I know it's not a lot of wood, but it has to be the right kind of wood, and that's been a challenge up here in Vermont. Over in France, the trees are much different. I've actually been to the area where they do it in France, and they don't do it inside. They only do it during the summer, because you can peel this off in the summer by hand, and they have a whole different style of doing it. I've heard from Jasper Hill that our product is more desirable. Who knows? They could just be telling me that to try to make sure I make enough. I don't sleep any different at night though. So yeah, that's what we got going on this morning.